Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, I wanted to kind of follow up with yesterday's or the last episode that aired and kind of follow up with that more to this audience specifically of people who grew up in dysfunction, chaos with alcoholic parents, drug addicted parents. There might have been a divorce in the house. But anyway, you grew up with that kind of crazy dysfunction. And because of that, your creative mind was literally stifled. Raise your hand. I know if you're driving, don't raise both hands, but think about that. When you were a child, was your creativity stuffed down? A lot of times it's buried. A lot of times we're not allowed when we grow up in those kind of households to be creative or to be joyful or to do art. I wasn't allowed to color and draw and just sit and relax. I was always doing chores or getting in trouble or having to do something else that was not in my realm of play and fun and joy. So to think about to just sit down and create or to sit down and be creative or playful for a long time really kind of rattled me, honestly. So I want to come today to just talk about kind of why that is and also some things that you can do on a daily basis to help that. I mean, we don't want to be in this world where we can't ever feel joy or creativity or feel free to be ourselves or express ourselves again. That would be absolutely miserable. And if you're there, I promise you, you can change it. You can make it better. But so why? Why do we grow up and feel like creativity is not even possible? I know, at least for me, when I was growing up, I was taught to perform, to please people, to stay small, and to not create for joy. I was taught to just kind of survive and to be what I had to be and to blend into who I had to be. And it was usually something small. It was usually something without emotions. It was usually something tiny, tiny, tiny in the corner. And now I'm at a place in my life where I want to create, I want to have joy, I want to express myself. And there's so many ways you can do that. Being creative or being artistic or, music. And we talked about having it in music and having it in writing and having it in journaling. It's more than just drawing. So if you can't draw, who cares? I can't draw either. My stick figures literally look the same today as they did when I was 5 years old. But it's not about creating art necessarily. It's about creating meaning and joy out of the things you do. So it's things like how you decorate your home, how you cook your food. I mean, you could be creative with your food. How you journal, how you dress, how you move, literally how you do everything. But so often we've been told that that's not okay. It's not okay. And it is okay. It's absolutely 100% okay to, in any form that you want, authentically express yourselves. So you might be asking, what are some things that I can do, or why is this so important anyway? I've gone my whole life. I've never created or drawn or taken an art class or rode a horse or done any of those fun things. Why is it so important? Well, one, it helps regulate the nervous system. So when you're doing something like coloring or drawing or dancing or just walking, it soothes that hypervigilance. It calms the nervous system and it gets you more regulated. And in that, you are allowed to heal and you're allowed to feel. Two, it creates a sense of, wow, I can create that. I can create anything. Look at what I did. That's beautiful. And when you react like that and you see something that you did and see something that you're proud of, you are not being defensive about it. You're literally embracing something. And believe me, guys, when I tell you that anything that you create is absolutely perfect and it's the way it was supposed to be because it's the way that you created it. So there's no judging it. There's no looking at a picture that you drew and saying, I could have done better because it was what you wanted to create or express. The other thing is that it nurtures that inner child. So some of us were never allowed to play. We were never allowed to laugh. We were never allowed to be a 5, 6, or 7 year old. And in doing these creative things, and like I said, again, it's not necessarily just drawing. It could be building a a house with a deck of cards. It could be doodling on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk. It's whatever it is. but it heals that inner child and it lets that inner child be a child again. And if you've been listening to any of my podcasts, you know how vitally important it is to reconnect with that inner child. The other thing is it does is it disrupts the idea of perfectionism. You created it. It's yours. Nobody else can judge it. Nobody can take it away. Nobody can tell you it's bad. You need to know in your heart of hearts that you created something from your heart, no matter what it is, and then it's perfect. It's perfect just the way it is. And you're perfect just the way you are. But it gets rid of that idea of it has to be this stenciled something and this piece of perfection because nothing, perfectionism is such a myth. It also gets rid of people pleasing because when you are creating, you are just doing it from the sheer bottom of your heart and in a joyous place. And you're not pleasing anybody at all but yourself. And also, that goes back to also, it gets rid of this sense of approval seeking. When you create something joyous, or you dance, or you doodle, or you color, or you whatever it might be, you're not doing it for someone else to validate you. You're doing it because you want to connect, reconnect back with yourself. So, super simple, right? Sounds super simple. You're still probably looking at me going, Tammy, I have no idea what the HE double hockey sticks you're talking about or how I can do this on a daily basis and really kind of just build it into my life so that it becomes a habit. Because we know if it's been ingrained in you that joy and creativity and open expression is not good, you can change your mind. You can flip your mind around. Every time you do something, look at it and say, this is absolutely perfect and I created it just like it was supposed to be. So um, the day goes on. What are you going to do? And how are you going to build this into your day? I like to wake up in the morning and I call it my 10 minutes of word vomiting. And it's just literally writing whatever you feel like writing. And it clears your mental clutter out. If you're getting rid of all the mental clutter in your brain, you're just writing. And I call it word vomiting, but just getting anything out on paper in a journal. It can be, you can talk into a tape recorder. You can just say what's on your mind. When you get up in the morning, that is when your mind is the freshest. That is when your mind is rejuvenated and it's open to thought and it's open to different experiences. Um, Use that time to just write whatever is on your mind. The other thing is doodle. I know that sounds crazy, but doodling, I am the biggest doodler in the world. If you see a notebook of mine, every letter has a swirl on it. Every sentence has a heart at the end of it. But scribbling, you remember when you were a child? I don't know if you ever remember this, but when you were a little girl, a little boy, or have you ever watched a little boy or a little girl get a crayon in their hand and they just scribble and they just go furiously, whatever their mood is. If it's happy, they might be light and airy and making circles and hearts. And if they're angry, they're going real hard. There's a lot to be said for that. And just that act of doodling or scribbling, it brings out that inner child. Um, the next thing is use color. I know this sounds funny, but color to match your mood matters. So if you're in a bright, vibrant, happy mood, wear pinks or purples or bright blues or happy colors. And if you're feeling kind of tired that day or it's a rainy day, maybe, wear your lighter colors to match your mood. If you're just subdued and tired, you can wear those light colors. But colors will definitely change your mood. And if you go out and you've got this bright pink shirt on, you're going to feel bright and pink and lively and happy. So that's another one. And then going back to just the colors and the dress with intention. What are you trying to say with your outfit? Think about that. Be a little creative with your outfit. I used to love when my kids would come down and I would say, what the heck are you wearing? And one day my son had a sock with a hamburger on it and had another one with French fries. And I said, sweetie, your socks do not even come close to matching. And he looked at me and he said, Mom, what goes better with hamburgers than French fries? Touche, Mom. That is dressing with intention. He was making a statement. He was loving what he was wearing. He felt good in it. So do that. Try dressing with intention. And then the last thing is make yourself, if you want to feel creative or you want to feel expressive, put yourself in an environment where you can do that. If you feel like dancing, dim the lights or brighten the lights and have a disco ball going or whatever it is. And act like you're the artist. Act like you're in that scene and doing what you want to do. Now, again, I am a horrible, horrible drawer. And I'm just going to tell you that. And I know I'm not supposed to be hard on myself, but when I draw, I look at it and I can't honestly, in good conscience, look at it and say, wow, that's a beautiful piece of art. But I can look at it and say, it's mine and it's what I'm thinking right now. And it means something to me. And that's really what it's all about. So, again, you might be a little confused because this whole creating yourself or expressing yourself creatively, wow, easy for me to say, it's a very hard concept for some of us. It took me a long time to be able to do the fun things that seemed creative. I didn't want to. I didn't want to step out. I wanted to play small. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard because I had never had been. And I didn't know what was going to happen if I was. But know that art and creative expression is a way that you can do this without judgment, without fear of judgment. You know that you have absolutely nothing to prove except your own joy. You just have to prove to yourself that you feel good enough inside to be able to spin around when you feel like dancing, jump up and down when you feel happy, roll on the grass in a big pile of leaves, whatever it is, be that child again. Learn to express yourself creatively. Do not anymore hold back from what's been keeping you from moving forward to having your absolute best life. And a place of creativity is a great place to start. And again, the number one reason is because you are getting back in touch with that inner child. And it's important. I was horrible at drawing, like I said, but I love to belt out a good song in the shower. Didn't have necessarily the best voice, singing voice, but it's okay. I love to belt it out in the shower, in the car, anywhere I could go. It was where I could express myself, where I could show my most joy. Doodling, crazy doodler. I love to doodle. I have people that their notebooks look just like mine, and it just warms my heart with hearts all over them and stars and shapes and colors and just anything to let you just whatever comes to your mind, you do it. So I just want to urge you to try that today. I challenge you to go out and do something creative and share it with me. Let me know what you did. Let me know what you did that made you feel free, emotionally free, spiritually free, every free in every way, with drawing, coloring, dancing, whatever it is. I would love for you to share it with me. I would love to hear what you did. And if you have trouble doing this or you're not quite sure how to reconnect with that side of you, I would love to help you out. Just go to the link in the show notes below, book a chat. Let's really talk about this because freedom of expression is one of the things in life that we absolutely have control over. And if you're having trouble finding it deep inside to feel that you are worthy enough to really express yourself like that, then we have some exploring to do. And I would love to walk that journey with you, would love to help you find how to express yourself, how to be that child again, and how to live your best life ever. So just wanted to follow up because I know some people might have heard that last episode and thought in theory it sounds really good, but who am I to express myself or how can I express myself? And I don't want you to feel stuck in any way, shape, or form. So until next time, guys, you have a very blessed week. I will talk to you soon. And remember, you are way, way, way more than enough just the way you are. So do not try to change. Love you.